Okay, everybody, it's our last session of the day, and I know you guys are happy that you hung with us the whole morning. And so we're fortunate today to have Joanne and Lonnie. They're going to talk about education and our Rotary's connection with education. Joanne is one of our assistant governors, right, over on Maui.
Oh, actually, I'm like the Mother Superior of the assistant governors.
Sorry. Joanne is Mother Superior, which it's a much loftier title. I'm going to turn it over to Joanne and Lonnie. And once again, folks, if you have questions, please put them in the chat, and we'll try to get to them at our end today. And if you have any other issues, you want to raise your hand or do whatever, you're welcome to do that.
Okay, I am going to go to my entire Interful screen. Can everybody see this? The literacy activities, and we're going to do it as a slideshow. All right, we only want to show just the slides. Now let's do that. I did it by myself. Yeah. Is there some place I can hit that it's just the slides instead of these other side things?
Yeah, so go all the way to the left, Joanne, and play from the start.
Oh, play from start, okay.
Slideshow, hit slideshow again. No, hit slideshow.
Slideshow.
Yeah.
And play from start, ta-da! You see, there's all these little techie things that you have to do. Well, good morning, welcome. Thank you for coming to this session. I always start with a little fun. Now, look at this. This is the diagram of a Zoom meeting attention span. So there's all these little things. The relief at seeing other people checking out their houses, and oh my God, why didn't I take a shower? And does my neck always look like that? And then 2% of the actual content of the meeting. So here I'm hoping that you'll stay with me for this 2% of the literacy activities for Rotarians. So I'm going to go through some activities that are happening in schools and other activities so you can see, and at the end is my slide with my information, and you are welcome to email, text me for any documents that you see on this slide presentation. These are the things I'll hit real quick of the projects that are going on in schools: dictionary, book fairs, one-on-one tutoring, Dr. Seuss Rotary Challenge, which is new this year, and an Earth Day activity. So with a dictionary project, I know many of you are doing those. That's the dictionary that is the cheapest. It's the one that the districts always use. There's the website to order it. It takes 4 to 6 weeks. You just wonder if it's ever going to come. And you need to book your presentations and all of that. So one of the things that I would recommend is that you do next slide, you do a lesson during the distribution. Now here on Maui, some of you might or might not know, I am the librarian at Kihei Elementary, except for we don't have school now, so I'm not the librarian. But anyway, during our distribution, which the Rotary Club of Kihei Wailea runs, we do the actual all third graders in the room. And it's easy. It's one-stop shopping for a dictionary presentation. It really works. Joanne Dole has a good large group lesson, and she's coming up with the next slide. Next slide. How come I can't go next slide? I don't know what's up there. Okay, next slide. Oh, that's the chat. All right, what's going on here? Next slide. Forward.
Maybe.
Oh, Benson, what's up? How come I can't go forward? What
maybe
up?
press your arrow button or
I did. Okay, no, that
space
one.
bar.
No, space bar. I'm gonna do this. Maybe it's
Try your arrow button. No arrow.
I did. The arrow don't do nothing. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna my mouse. Okay, wait. Let's go back. No. See, I even tested this. How about more? Stop more. Let's do more. No, that's not going to happen. Oh my God. I'm in Big Bandini. I'm going to go back here, screen sharing again. Okay, let's go to my website. Here we go. Oh my God. And I've tested this with my husband. I had everything ready. Oh,
Don't worry about it. It's okay.
No, it's not okay. Here we go. Virtual vision.
Yeah,
I'm
get
gonna
up on your
go over here.
screen.
Letters. Here we go. We're gonna go back to here. Stop. Okay. Literacy. Here we're PowerPoint. I'm bringing it back up again. Maybe it just got tired. Okay. Forward. Forward. Here we go. Here we go. Is that working? All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey. There we go. Okay, thank you for the technical difficulties. Anyway, whole big lesson. Joanne Dole, Rotary Club of Kiewilea, has a great lesson. And then the Rotarians help out with the kids with the lesson. It's a lot of fun. There she is, taking a breath, and Margie Flores is helping. Thank you again for staying with me. And then we do a picture for the school yearbook, which is a lot of fun. Then there is actually the lesson. So my teachers, my third grade teachers, spend the whole morning with dictionaries. They bring all the kids in, and then they take the kids out, and they've got their dictionaries in their hand. And I have designed this dictionary lesson plan that goes with our dictionaries. It's got Common Core standards. It has all the stuff that all of the teachers love. They could spend the whole morning doing this lesson. And then there's talks about the procedure. They work in small groups. It's a lot of fun. They each get a vocabulary word. They look it up and they share it with the class. And then I designed a word search that goes with that dictionary, which is great because when they finish their little lesson, then they can do the word search. And all the teachers like the exit tickets. So in order for the kids to go to lunch, they have to turn in their exit ticket. So again, all of these are PDFs. I'm very, very happy to share it with you. Okay, next activity, book fairs. All the schools on Maui have book fairs, and they're fundraisers for the library, and they usually hold for 5 days. You can volunteer to help. It's easy to do. Crowd control, run the register, check the receipts at the exit, just like Costco. So there's a setup for a book fair. This is at my school library. And then there's, if you want to help and buy some books for kids, a lot of the kids don't have money to buy their own books. And they turn in a little wish list at the end. And if Rotary members would like, they can collect some kids' wish lists and buy the kids. This lady in the back up here, she bought a whole set of books for an entire class that was in need. And she wasn't a Rotarian, it's just something that she does. We find out which classes have the highest percentage of kids that have free and reduced lunch. And then Rotarians can meet the kids in the library time and buy them all a book. Costs about $200. So that's pretty cool. And then tutoring. Schools are open to reading volunteers, and Lonnie might agree that you have to be vetted by the DOE to be a one-on-one tutor, and your school's leading resource teacher can help. Dr. Seuss, here we go. This is your challenge, every Rotary Club. We are going to have a Dr. Seuss challenge here on March 2nd, 2021. We're going to want every Rotary Club in District 5000 to read aloud 1 or 2 Dr. Seuss stories to every first grade class in every elementary school on the islands. And this is a challenge to enforce that global literacy. And then the books that you read, you can leave for the kids' library. So a couple years ago, my club, Liz May and I flew to Molokai, and in one day we read Dr. Seuss to 5 different elementary school first grades. And so we gave out a book, those 2 books that we read aloud to the class libraries. And there is places that you can give printables. We actually gave a handout that's something that kids could use after the Dr. Seuss. You could go to that website and get free Dr. Seuss printables. Here on Kihei Now, the Rotary Club of Kiewilea brings all the first graders in, a couple classes at a time, and they read aloud to the classes Dr. Seuss. You can see our little stage set up, and it's like a fun day. And then the Kiewilea Rotary gave pencils and bookmarks to every kid at the end. And so there's where you can go buy the pencils, Amazon Prime, don't we love it? And where you can buy the bookmarks. And that was that activity. Coming up, we missed it this year because Earth Day was during the pandemic, but this Earth Day activity is a lot of fun. It's called Michael Recycle. It's a great little book in 3rd grades. And you can train your Rotary teachers in pairs or alone to teach the lesson. It's 30 minutes, and the lesson is coming up. There it is. I wrote you a lesson plan, exactly what you can do. You read aloud, you talk about yourself, because, you know, Rotarians need to introduce themselves, what they do in their community, and why they're in the classroom. And then you introduce the book, how we're doing reduce, recycle. Read them the book. And then there's an activity. The first one is the color the object sheets, and they can do it in pairs. That's what it looks like. Kids like that. Going back, the answers are there as to which ones need to be colored, so in case you're worried. And then the second part is the vocabulary, ABC order. Back in my day, we used to call it alphabetical order, but now it's called ABC order. And the kids do it in pairs, and that's that one. And then you can give little prizes if you want to the pairs that finish early. And then we gave everybody a little parting gift. We gave everybody a pencil and a little globe earth eraser. And then we gave the book to the teacher for the classroom library. And then one of our Rotary members had some recycling coloring books from State Farm, and we gave those out too. So there's the kids working together. And here is the budget. Pretty cheap for 5 classes. So again, the lesson plan is there for you. I can share it with you as a PDF or a JPEG or whatever you want at any time you want it. And then reading aloud, and some of you know that I'm the read aloud lady, and it's fun. Here's my favorite. Read the part where she burns her mouth on my porridge. Isn't that the cutest picture? I love that. But reading aloud is lots of fun. And so there's reasons why you should be reading aloud. And now with virtual online reading aloud, I don't know if you noticed, but Oprah Winfrey and Michelle Obama are now reading aloud to kids. And then we've got an activity actually coming up this coming Friday, a Kids Day, 5 to 5:30, right, Benson? 5 to 5:30, and I'm part of that. I will be reading aloud a children's book, and the picture book is online, and then you read it, and it's fun. So you can read aloud at schools, in classroom. Kindergarten to 3rd grade is the best. A little bit older, it's a little harder, but those little kids just love it. And then nursing homes. And look at this. There is actually an activity book, this golden career, that you can do for nursing homes, extended care homes, with some activities. That would be kind of a fun thing to do. And then at public libraries, Rotarians, they would always welcome you to read aloud at public libraries. And then this is a gal reading aloud in one of the libraries with a little keiki. Their attention span's about 5 minutes, but that's okay. And then I read aloud a lot at places of business. We used to have a Savers, and I would read aloud at Whole Foods to kids. And right now I'm reading aloud at, okay, that thing went back. Here we go. That did that again. There we go. Reading aloud at Barnes & Noble and at Maui Ocean Center. So that's happening when we get back to real life. But again, they would be happy for read alouds there. There's a reading list with a website, Read Aloud America. What do I read aloud to what grades? It's all on that website. We have 10 years of reading lists by age level of good read aloud books. And then you can volunteer at Camp Ryla. It's fun. And all you have to do is talk to your Ryla coordinator. One of the things we have done is you can help with the Ohanas. There's one of the Ryla camps a couple years ago. You can go in and help with Ohanas. You can also help out with ropes courses. You can also do a bedtime story. Look at those high school kids just listening. And it brings the kids down right before they go to bed on the last night of camp. It works. And then there's also a Meet the Leaders. And we had 10 Rotary leaders come in, and they circulated through all of the Ohanas every 5 minutes. And the Ohanas asked the Rotary leaders different questions. It's great because the kids got to see 10 different Rotarians and pick their brain about being what it's like to be in Rotary. That's a real powerful, that workshop was designed by the kids rather than the Rotarians standing up on stage and talking to them about themselves and the kids zoning out. Actually, the kids got to see 10 different Rotarians for 5 minutes each, and it was very powerful. So that's me. There's my email. There's my text. Whatever you want, it's yours. Rotary Shares. I hope you enjoyed it and stayed awake. And thank you for your time. And I'm going to stop my share. Bye. Bye.
Excellent.
Yeah, Joanne, you are, man, awesome.
Keep you all awake. So, okay, I'm going to go mute now. Bye-bye.
Okay, Lonnie, it's on you.
All right. Aloha, everyone. I was invited by Aries, and to be honest, I had no clue what I was doing. I thought I was just going to be like randomly answering questions versus presenting, but that's okay. So my name is Lani Rodriguez. I am from an educator at Dole Middle School. I'm going to attempt to share my screen. Hopefully this works. All right. And then, is this working for me? All right, so I'm going to speak specifically to the situation at my school. I guess I have the larger topic of education, but yeah, I'm going to keep it kind of specific to my school. So I am a certified social studies teacher. I have been teaching for 19 years. Started in Kaneohe, and for the last 15 years, I've been at Dole Middle School in Kalihi. And to say that sometimes I go mento is an understatement. The last 2 years, I've actually been in this really kind of cherry position. It's called a stakeholders coordinator. I have the responsibility, and I think it's kind of a cool responsibility of bringing in all the different stakeholder groups, including, teachers, parents and guardians, you all, organizations, community members, to really just engage with the school to improve student achievement. And so I'm going to be kind of speaking from the different needs of the different role groups. So for our students, I think what they really need, and what I've noticed kind of is, they come to school and as they encounter the different adults, is that they really want this people to understand them and know where they're coming from and believe in them. So how many of you guys are familiar with Kalihi? I don't know, it sounds like it's this is all islands. But so Kalihi, typically is a kind of a low income immigrant community. Our students, 6th through 8th grade, come from the two largest federally subsidized housing projects in the state, KPT and KVH, otherwise known as Camp 4 Housing. The last 2 years, I believe it's been 2 years, we've been able to be part of the federal program that is giving 100% of our students free breakfast and lunch. And so that kind of speaks to the economic needs of our community. 10% of our kids are qualified for special ed services, 25% are considered English language learners. And as you can kind of see the breakdown of ethnicities, we're pretty like Pacific Island heavy at Dole. And a lot of those families are, immigrant families. So we have a huge achievement gap. As you can see, this is data on our the big state tests. This kind of mauve-ish color is this statewide scores. Purple is ours. And as you can see, we're, half of, where our state or our students in the same grade level in the state are achieving. And so that's a really huge need of ours, is to be able to improve that or kind of decrease that achievement gap. And again, this is kind of, again, looking at the academics. So one of the things that our students really need is to just strengthen the foundational skills. So we do this online program called iReady that, just, it's a personalized program that kind of meets the kids or gives them lessons based on their answers. And we kind of check their progress beginning of the year, middle of the year, end of the year. We weren't able to do the end of the year, obviously, because schools have closed down. But this was the middle of the year results. And the red indicates that the students are achieving 2 or more grade levels below where they are. So if they're 6th grade, this means that they're operating at a 4th grade, if not lower than that. Yellow is just 1 grade level below, and green is their on grade level. And so as you can see, in math at least, more than half of our students are still not where they should be. They're either 2 grade levels or 1 grade level below where they should be. And the weakest domains are algebra, geometry, which, are skills that are required, and as you all probably know, for, the higher higher pay and the technical careers. And then we actually have potentially like even worse results for the reading. And, with our weakest domains being vocabulary, comprehension of informational text. And that, I think, speaks to the fact that, again, a lot of our students are not first, or English is not their first language. And so I think one of the things that we've been focusing on at Dole is really trying to provide real-world hands-on experiences, especially since language is not something that the students can access easily, and then also trying to connect it to future careers. We're really trying to get the students to kind of see beyond their current circumstances and to be a lot more aspirational. And so just having them get outside of campus. We already live in a really small island state. Kalihi can feel even smaller than that. And so, our 6th graders for the last couple of years have been going to Winwood Community College, actually on my side of the island. The Farrington High School, which is what we feed into, they've created career academies, and they've really been able to build those academies up. And they, invite our 8th graders to go and visit. So the 8th graders can choose which academies to be a part of. And they are, again, very hands-on experiences. This year, Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum was incredibly generous, and they allowed our students to visit their museum for free, to visit their Above and Beyond exhibit. And so, that was, I think, for the first time, a lot of our students kind of, saw aviation as a possibility. And then this woman, I'll talk about her a little bit more. She was a former member of the Pearl Harbor Hickam Rotary, but she's been an amazing partner in kind of connecting our school with different groups and different schools. She was able to bring Les Jardins on campus to work with our after-school students. And they let the kids operate their robots and use coding kind of in the real world experience. One of the things, like, to say that our students, have experienced, adverse childhood experiences is kind of an understatement. I can't even really bring myself to imagine what the students are experiencing right now as they're, sheltering in place with their families. Unfortunately, their home lives, a lot of their home lives are really kind of unsafe, actually. And so, our students also need just positive adult role models. And then they need play. They don't get to experience childhood in the same way that we experience childhood. They're, encumbered with the responsibility of watching younger siblings or cousins, and just, seeing really traumatic things. And so, our partners, Kokoa Kalihi Valley, invited some of our kids to participate in a tweens basketball clinic with UH Manoa. And then, going back to Lisa Jensen, she, a couple of years ago, created this group called Kalihi Kids. She lives in Kalihi. She used to be a PTT at Kalihi Elementary, and just saw that there was this dearth of of opportunity for the kids who are living specifically at Camp for Housing. You know, unlike KPT, where they have children, parents and children together or packed right on the site. Camp for Housing has nothing. Their gym has been condemned. They're in the middle of construction, but you know, there's just no place really for the kids to go. And so she wanted to be able to kind of take them out of that. And so, you know, there's a park about a block away where she would just have some, you know, sailors from Pearl Harbor come in and play with the kids for a couple of hours every other Saturday or one Saturday a month. And that was, you know, kind of just so that the kids, you know, they would be able to play, they'd have positive role models, and then they'd just be able to get off of kind of a depressed site. You know, Camp 4 is really kind of run down. And that's this year kind of morphed into a youth leadership program where, you know, she's actually been, you know, working with some of our students to help recruit participants and serve as mentors. And then, you know, just with inclement weather, I've opened up my portable on campus to have these Saturday meetings inside. And so, you know, the peer mentors will read to the kids, you know, help with them with math activities. You know, I don't know if you can see here on the side, but one of her interns from would, you know, just lead the other kids in, like, you know, dancing tutorials from YouTube. And then from the teacher point of view, you know, I really think that our teachers at Dole Middle School are the hardest working teachers in Hawaii. They have so much heart and give so much to our kids. And every now and then it's kind of nice for them to have a break. And so, you know, we haven't had the opportunity really to have guest speakers, but anytime that a guest speaker can come in, especially to connect, you know, their content to, you know, the career that speaker is engaged in, I think is really helpful for the students. And so this was actually, she used to be my financial advisor, but she's also a Dole alum, and she came in and talked to the 8th graders and showed them how she uses math in her everyday life. Again, Kokoakurihi Valley, they created this amazing program on healthy relationships and sex trafficking prevention, because unfortunately, sex trafficking is kind of a reality in our community. And so they came in and actually like taught for a week or 2 weeks in our 6th grade PE class, 7th grade health, 8th grade fitness. And that, you know, I think was not only valuable for the students, but it was also valuable for the teachers to, you know, one, be able to kind of take a break, but also to be able to see, you know, new strategies, the kids in a different light. And then we have this aquaponics garden that just got finished, but, you know, we don't really know how to set it up or maintain it. And so, you know, if there's any of you out there that live on Oahu and have a passion for aquaponics, we could absolutely use help with getting that up and running once schools reopen. And then just, you know, I'm not sure if you guys have seen in the news, we had a cluster of COVID-19 positive cases, all, I think, in one household at the Camp for Housing. And so, you know, it's probably not the first family, but it's the first one I think that was identified. And, you know, hopefully as the virus kind of, I don't know, maybe lessens over the summer and hopefully doesn't return, but just kind of thinking about what it looks like when schools reopen. We have a lot of anxiety about amongst the teachers and the parents and the kids themselves about, you know, just keeping everybody healthy and safe. And so, you know, teachers are kind of needing or looking for ways to protect themselves and their kids. The parents. So this was taken from the 2010 census. So the information's a little bit outdated, but this is looking at the educational achievement of our community. And as you can see, you know, more than 60% of our community, their highest level of educational achievement is high school. And so, I think that also kind of contributes to, where our kids are at. They don't unfortunately have a lot of like educational role models in their homes. And so, one of the things I think that the teacher or the parents need is, just development of language. And, we have a lot of ELL or English as a second language parents. And so if anybody, has done that kind of adult literacy or even, working on computer skills with adults, job training, financial literacy, I think all of those skills are valuable for our parents. And then especially right now and even before that, and, probably, for several more months after this, basic necessities is just, it's dire. And so this was actually a project that Pearl Harbor Hickam and had put together. They collected canned foods for our food pantry, and then whatever was left over, we've actually been able to give that away during these school closures. And then right now, distance learning technology is becoming, incredibly necessary and may continue to be as we move forward. School or administrative needs, they need a lot, but I think one of the ways that they are really appreciative, or one of the things that they're appreciative is when partners come in and just kind of help with the campus beautification. So this was a project we did 2 school years ago with one of the churches in the community. We were in talks with Pearl Harbor Hickam and the Metro Rotary about coming and painting over these like murals that some of the community graffiti artists had put up. Kind of, we had given them space and they sort of took a lot of liberty and what they put on our walls, and we just, it doesn't match with anything at our school, and so we needed help kind of covering those over. They were also going to come in and possibly help us paint our walls in the cafeteria because it's really kind of drab. And then ultimately, just by kind of cleaning up the exterior, we were hoping to, really strengthen our school and community culture and climate. There have been studies that show that if there are, positive murals or art put up, that it actually will reduce graffiti. And it has been shown that, unfortunately our school is, it's kind of a hangout place at nighttime. And we do get a lot of graffiti, but we're hoping to cover that over with some beautiful community-based art. And then this is a dream of one of our counselors, is to, help fix up the bathrooms. And then we're always looking for participants in our school community council. So just possible steps for people who are looking to really partner with us. We know that you all have a heart for service and are problem solvers. And so these are a multitude of ways that, we definitely need help. Volunteers to come in and work with some of our ELL kids, to mentor our students, serve as guest speakers. If you wanted to open up your job sites for visits, I definitely need help with parent trainings. Volunteer with Kalihi Kids. We can always use donations. Participate in the campus beautification efforts, and then join our school community council. So this is my information. Please feel free to reach out if you are interested in participating or partnering. But otherwise, mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. I appreciate you letting me share with you all.
Put your hand up.
Lonnie, do we have time for questions?
I think we do. I'm sorry, I talked a lot.
No, that's fine. I think as we're looking out, you've got a wide representation here of people within Rotary, and your presentation's really important to us because very often we think we know what your schools need, but really we need to ask the people to determine what it is they need. So we've got people all over the islands here at all different schools. What is the best way for them to approach their school and to find the correct contact to go to the school, especially during this time when we don't have phone numbers or maybe that sense of network. What should we do to connect with schools? How do we connect with schools to ask them what their needs are? And are there projects that could be done this summer while you're not in session?
Yeah. So I think, you know, right now, unfortunately, only the principals are allowed on campus, and then, you know, custodial, cafeteria staff, the teachers are not allowed on campus. I would, you know, say reach out to the PCNCs, the Parent Community Network Communicator or coordinators, but I don't know if a lot of them are working right now. So I think the best thing would be to call up the office, try to connect with the principals. And then if, you know, if the school has a school website and if they do have any emails listed, again, kind of reach out to the principals. And then I'm not sure if they do have a PCNC that's listed for email, but, you know, that would be another really good person to connect with.
And I would recommend you wait until after May 28th right now, because the principals are trying to get all their classrooms cleared out. And I know that after May 28th, the principals will still be there. And so your principal, and I can concur with Lonnie, because being in a school as well, reach out to the principal and say, I'm from Rotary. What can we do to help your school this summer? We have people that want to help. And let me tell you, you'll get some answers.
Yes.
If you do it now, Lonnie, I don't know about yours, but my teachers are coming in every day and they get a period of time to clean out their, you know, but after May 28th, I think things will open up, and I think your principals would be more receptive to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Lonnie, this is Joanne Dole from Kihei Wailea. Thank you. I just want to piggyback on what Joanne Laird said. I'm the other Joanne on Maui. And I've had very good success talking to the administrators. And one thing that I've discovered is the families that are on a reduced lunch program, they have incurred debt for all the lunches that they're going to have to pay for.
Yeah.
And if they cannot pay for it between now and the end of school, May 28th, then that debt continues on to the beginning of the next year. So if there's anything that, at least that's what I've been told in the 3 schools that I have dealt with. And so I would encourage Rotarians to find out what's happening with those families on free and reduced lunch, because that's an immediate debt that can be erased. And it's hundreds of dollars for them. And it's something hanging over their heads that continues to the next year. And it's easily erasable.
Yeah. And I know at our school, I mean, so we you know, do provide the 100% breakfast and lunch, free breakfast and lunch. But, you know, the debt that our students tend to incur is uniforms. So, you know, that's all kind of put together in addition to, you know, their reduced lunch debt. If your schools have uniforms and if the students have had to like basically like get a loan for uniforms, other things would be IDs. So there's unfortunately a number of things that kids get charged for, you know, throughout the year. So, but yeah, you know, please feel free to reach out to your schools and ask.
They are not being charged since March 17th, March 14th. Whatever that was supposed to be is gone. The only thing they owe for is their back if they have stuff that they didn't pay for before the school closures.
Yeah.
Hi, Lonnie. It's Aries.
Hi, Aries. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I didn't know that there were clusters. I was at CAM 4 and KPT almost once a week, but we have to be careful. So another way to, I feel like there was a lot more success. Is this correct if we reach out to vice principals? They do have vice principals?
They definitely do. So, I mean, you know, all administrators are still coming to campus. You know, I guess it kind of just depends on the schools. I think a lot of schools, even if they are vice principals, they will ultimately defer to the principal. But, you know, feel free to reach out to any of the administrators. And usually, like our admin team, they, you know, talk amongst themselves, and then usually one of them will get back to me.
and Lonnie here worked very hard to bring the community together. So I believe that every school has that sort of person that loves to bring the community together. I think that's the key too, to talk to the principal. That person, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you're the one who brought us and introduced Rotary to the principal, right? And the Interact, or was it? Yeah.
I mean, it was, Lisa Jensen. She's,
right.
The sort of
ambassador
of it all. Yes. But no, she and I kind of brought everybody together to meet Principal Tasaka.
And then you introduced the team to the principal.
Yeah.
Hey folks, it's 12 o'clock and that's kind of our witching hour. Really appreciate Lonnie and Joanne presenting today. Guys,
thank you all.
Education is a tremendous point in which Rotary can connect. And then obviously through Lonnie's presentation, there's tons and tons of need out there. I mean, the big thing for me today was just that all of the lunches that these accumulate on their bill. I mean, I know that one as a grandpa, definitely. So that's a point in which Rotary can help. So Lonnie, if you wouldn't mind, I know you had your contact information. If you could put it in the chat, Joanne, you too as well, so that anybody that's on the call now wants to connect with you guys, that they definitely can. So I appreciate you guys coming. Thanks a lot for the great presentation, and all of you guys who stuck with us through the entire morning from 9 o'clock. Have a good afternoon, and thanks a lot. So we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you all.
I'll
Appreciate it.
unmute everybody, and you can just say hi to everybody. So.
Hey Lonnie, we'll be in touch with you via phone later with our community service chair. Okay.
Bye. Thank you, Aries. Bye.
Aloha, thank you. It was good, very good. Mahalo.
Sally O'Brien, it was a fantastic.
Thank you, Sally. Thanks everybody for hanging in there. It was a great morning. Thanks, Nancy Cabral. Wow, you did it. I love that.
You're down, Benson, for a while.
Yeah. We did good today.
Yeah.
Really, all the presenters just kicked it. So.
Sometimes, Benson, this might be the way to do a spring assembly.
I'm thinking.
You get more people here than you get in person.
We had Joanne, we had total in our 4 sessions today, we had over 200 just on my side of the house. Now, I'm not sure what Naomi had.
There you go.
I
mean, you would never reach that many people. And I know in person is so important, but you would never reach that many people otherwise. The very fact that all these other islands could hear these presentations, powerful stuff. It's very powerful.
And I'm seeing like my Nancy Cabral right here. Now Nancy is at work because she's freaking busy, man. But she be at work and do all her stuff and come. So
and you can do other work. You can multitask while you're listening. That's the best part. Nobody knows you got another screen going over there.
My twin brother Doug over here, he's probably riding on his bicycle or something.
I was doing that yesterday. No, I'm sure Nancy's actually working on her 100-year party already.
Hey,
I'm trying to.
Hilo. Yeah, come to Hilo next year, right?
Can I have a quick question? Is it possible, I'm just noticing in the chat, some of these people are, wanting to